Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing? How you doing? Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about taxes. I know you guys don't like to talk about taxes and everything, whatever. So FYI, I do have my tax license and it's expiring in October, so I'm a C-Tech. You can just go search my name and you'll see I'm a C-Tech. I don't know if I'm gonna have it next year. It's a lot of work, but I mean, I've had it for like 2 years, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. Actually, I know what I'm talking about. Well, everybody has to file taxes except some. Well, depends on how much you make, but most people have to file taxes, right? So taxes are something that you file every year. The deadline is April 15th. It's basically you're giving money to the government to do whatever they need to do. That's just taxes out of your paycheck. So the requirements to file. So if you're single and then file a return if your gross income was at least 12,200 for under 65, and 65 13,850. So you have to file taxes if you're single and you make at least 12,200, married filing joint at least 24,400, married filing separately at least $5. Wow. If you make at least $5, you have to file. Head of household 18,350, qualifying widower 24,400. So these are all on IRS. If you just type it in, I'm pretty sure some of the things they ask on, like if you type it on Google, they will like explain it to you, and then they will tell you where they're getting information from, and it'll take you back to irs.gov. So they're single is when you're by yourself. Married filing joint if you're married and you and your husband want to file taxes together, so your taxes add up. Married filing separately is when you and your husband want to file, but you might filing separately. So you're telling IRS I'm married, but me and my husband are filing separately. Head of household is a filing sign for single or unmarried taxpayers who keep up a home for a qualifying person. Example, a child, maybe your mother. So a qualifying person is somebody who's lived with you for more than half of the year, except for temporary absences. A dependent parent is not required to live with you. That's the filing status. Now let's talk about a W-4. A W-4 is a form when you start working with your employer. They give this form to you to ask to put on how much you want the government to take out money from your paycheck. They have a section for federal and state. So on that same form, they have a section for federal and state. On the W-4, it says, are you exempt from taxes? You put no, because you're not exempt from paying taxes in the United States. I don't think anybody's exempt from paying taxes. So you put no, and then for the they ask you how much do you want them to take and what's your filing status. So if you don't want to owe, I recommend you put in single 0, but mind you, they're going to take out a lot if you're single. And if you don't care about owing, no, see, all this owing thing depends on how much you make. If you make more than 85K, I'm sorry, you're gonna owe. unless you have businesses, children, other credits that I'm going to mention later, then you're not gonna owe. So you might not owe. See, all these things, it's like this turbo taxes, it's okay, but I feel like it's much better to go to somebody who knows what they're doing, that's licensed, because then you might not even know what might help you, and you won't even put on TurboTax, and then you'll be like, and then TurboTax will just give you what you put in. TurboTax doesn't know if you register a business. TurboTax doesn't know, you know, if you have a child and you don't know you're supposed to get a credit for a child, you're not going to do that, you know. So that's just my opinion. But so if you have children, helps. Mortgage helps. School helps. For your W-4, if, let's say for example, for me, let's just say me, I'm married and I filed jointly with my husband, and we kind of make, according to the government, too much. So last year I put single 0 and he had married 0, and we barely owed, even though I have a business registered. So to be safe this year, it's probably going to be an increase of wages because we're filing together, I put single 0, additional $50. So additional allowance, if there's a section where it says additional allowance, is if you want the government to take more from your paycheck, so you put additional of whatever amount you want for the federal and for the state. So you can do whatever you want on your W-4. It's your business. Even if you're married and you put single, it doesn't matter. You're not gonna be in trouble. No. It's what you want the government to take, because you don't want to owe, then you put single 0. If you don't care, put single 1. And you know, even if you put single 1, you might balance out and you might not end up owing, but you just might not end up getting a lot. It depends. But most of the time I notice that state doesn't take enough, so just be mindful of that. You always, it's like most of the years I've owed state, like why? So that's just something, that's what the W4 is, and they're supposed to give it to you when you start your when you start your work, wherever you work. Also, most companies now have it online, so if you ever want to change it, you might not have to go through HR. There's probably an online portal for you to change it. You can change your W4 anytime you want. If you want to put single 0 additional $50 for 6 months, you can do that. And then every 6 months you can do whatever you want. It's your W4. Just keep in mind. So that's what the W4 is. W2 is the form that your company gives to you saying, hey, this is how much you made, this is how much taxes was taken out for state, this is how much taxes was taken out for federal, this is how much was taken out for your retirement. That CC, that section 14A, I think, on your W, that's retirement, how much was taken out for retirement. This is how much was taken out for social security, and so on. So that's what your W2 is, and your W2 is what you use to file your taxes. So you put that information in your 1040, or that's one of the files that you use to file taxes, and then whatever, it will tell you where to put each value. There's a W2 section in when you're filing your taxes, so you can just put all the amount, all your W2s compiled together. It doesn't matter how many W2s you have. Try and wait for all your W2s. Also, I don't know if you guys know this, but it is important that you have coverage of health insurance for the year. If you don't have health insurance coverage for the year, I don't think you can file. Like, there's a penalty for that. You can file, no, you can, let me think that way. If you don't have health insurance coverage, there's a penalty for that. So you might have to pay or some kind of fine for that. But make sure, if it's through your job, if you have to pay extra for it, whatever you do, make sure you are covered health insurance wise, because there is a penalty if you're not. Your taxpayer is supposed to ask you if you are, and that's what the 1095B, so forms that prove that you have healthcare is 1095. It's B for, I think, Affordable Care Act, and C, if you had health insurance through your employer, you get 1095C. It's a document your employer may have sent to you this tax season. So it's an employer based health insurance coverage. 95B is a form they use to verify that tax return that you and your dependent had the minimum qualifying health insurance coverage. You get 1095C if you're working for a company, and then they give you insurance, so, or they take it out of your paycheck or whatever that may be. So always keep in mind that you need insurance to file. You need to have insurance coverage for the previous year to file for the following year. There's a lot of things that can help with your taxes. For example, having mortgage premiums can help with your taxes. Loans can help you, like not car loans, but school loans can, they send you a form if you pay student loans, and that can help with a little bit with your taxes. Having a child really helps, like a lot. Let me go over the credit, but that's like the basic ones. So there's different kind of tax credits that can help. So there's child tax credit, like I mentioned. There is credit for other dependents, like maybe a mom, but you know, they might have changed that, so just double check with your tax person. Child and dependent care credit, that means if you put your child through daycare, there's qualifications for that. See, all these things just in general, but there's qualifications for that if you're paying daycare out of pocket for your child. Earned income credit, retirement contribution savings credit, there's American Opportunity Tax Credit, lifetime learning credit. American Opportunity Tax Credit is for school, undergrad. Lifetime learning is for upper grad and above. Now, keep in mind that if you make a lot of money, I think for married filing joint, if you make 180,000, you don't qualify for some of these credits. So these credits have stipulations on them. So don't just think if you make a lot, you can you know, accept the mortgage. You can do mortgage, doesn't matter how much you make. But for and child tax credit, doesn't matter how much you make. But if you, for the child tax credit, even if you get it but you didn't let the government take out a lot from your paycheck and you owe, whatever you're supposed to get is going to balance out, so you might not even get a refund, but you might not owe. I don't know if I mentioned, but the due date to file taxes is April 15th. make sure you file your taxes by April 15th, or actually ask for an extension if you need more time before April 15th. Okay, because then if you owe, your interest starts to accrue. That's something about IRS. If you owe them your interest accrues like that. Like if you owe them, you're not paying, your interest is accruing. They can tell you, well, now we're adding this amount to your how much you owe. So it's something to keep in mind. Also, IRS don't play. Don't think you're not gonna file taxes or you're gonna claim somebody else's child and they won't know. Like, they're not playing. They will hold your refund if they find that there's any discrepancy with your taxes. So don't be doing, oh, I'm gonna file my sister's niece's daughter. Also, that is a negative thing when you keep on doing that, because when that child, it's time for her to go to college, if you didn't know this, they're gonna be like, when you apply for FAFSA or financial aid, they were like, well, this person who was making this amount said, well, they claimed him, so you don't have any expected family income. You have a whole bunch of expected family income, so you don't need financial aid. So that's something to keep in mind. If you keep letting people claim you when it's time for you to go to school, you're not getting financial aid. It's gonna affect your financial aid, just letting you know. But also another thing to keep in mind, financial aid. When you get financial aid, let's say you get $24,000 in financial aid, and you only paid $10,000 in financial aid. The remaining difference of $14,000 is now your income. So financial aid also counts as income, so it adds on to whatever you made. So you have to file taxes if you make a certain amount of money. For example, for singles, you have to make at least, file a return if your gross income was at least $12,200. For married filing joint, you file a return if your gross was at least $24,400. For head of married filing separately, $5. Head of household, $18,350. Qualifying widower, $24,400. So if you made at least that amount for whatever filing status you are, you do have to file a return. So if you guys have any more questions, let me know, and I will answer you to the best of my abilities. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this was helpful to you know, in filing your taxes or whatever you have to do. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section what other videos you would like for me to do, and I'll find people who are better and who have expertise in these things to come and talk to you about it. You guys need to share, like, subscribe. If I get more, the more viewers I get, the more I can ask people to come, because then at least it's a two-way street of, you know, business deal. So I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Follow me on TikTok and all my social media. TikTok is Lanre Bennett. It's the same as my name over here. Also, like, share, subscribe. Click the notification button to get notifications of when I post. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.